my wife stopped to get the kids instead of putting them on the bus. We figured that'd be better. And we get home, and I turn on the news, and they mentioned we had 16 minutes till the storm was going to hit our area. So, wife started packing up a safe place in the closet, getting blankets, pillows, everything she could fit in there. And sky looked pretty decent for a storm, so I wanted to see what it looked like coming in. Walking around the corner of the house, and there's a funnel cloud off in the distance. It looked like it was going to miss us, but it's still pretty scary. So I just watched it for a little bit. As it got closer, it kind of started to dissipate a little bit. So I was praying, hoping that it would skip me and not give us a direct hit. But as I watched it, decided to pick up speed and go ahead and drop all the way down and then change its course. I could tell it was coming right for us. It was still 3,000 feet away. Then it just started getting closer and closer and closer. And I could start hearing it breaking trees, picking up limbs, and getting darker in color. So I guess it got about like 2,000 feet away, and I ran in the house. Got up in my wife's little shelter and just squeezed everybody I could squeeze. Hold on. And I did hear a roar. The roar didn't last too long. That tornado must have been going pretty fast, because as soon as I hear the roar, I start hearing stuff break. Glass breaking, 2x4 snapping, and then you can just feel the house shift, and it just lift up in the air. And I don't know how high it was, but apparently it went about 300 yards the other direction, flipped over on its top, and it just crashed down in one big crash around the ground. I don't think I was out very long, just a few seconds, but I raised up. My wife was right in front of me. She was crying. She said her back had hurt. She couldn't move. I tried to help her, but realized I could barely move myself. Couldn't breathe, and hurt so bad in my chest area, my right arm. It hurt like crazy. I just was looking around from a kneeling position, and I saw my kids all strung out on the other side of us. Not too far away, but Colin was probably 10, 15 feet from me, and me was a little closer, and then Caleb. They were all laying face down, not moving. I just had to holler out to him, but I couldn't even move. It hurt so bad. And Caleb was the first to move. And then Colin started crying. Mia laid there for a minute, and then she got up. I still made a few attempts to help my wife, but I couldn't do anything. So with one shoe on, one shoe off, I tried to walk over to the kids and just get them clear. Right after the first tornado, it was, the sun come out a little bit, and it looked pretty decent outside. So I took them up the hill a little bit, kind of rested on a tree, where, thank God, somebody saw me walking, and they come down to help. And they thought it was just us, so I told them to go down and help my wife, because she couldn't move and I couldn't help her. So he went down there. I tried to follow him down there and help, but he pretty much told me, just leave him alone, he'd do it better, just take care of my kids and try to get them to some shelter. So it was taking me forever to walk. By the time I got up to him, we started to go up the hill. I turned around and looked back to see what was going on with Trish. Right over the same horizon, there was a great big tornado working up. It was all swirling already. It hadn't made the exact funnel yet, but it was coming. So I was scared. That guy turned around and see what I was looking at, and he saw it, and he picked up a piece of plywood and covered Trish with it and tried to cover herself best he could with it. As the hail started falling, and all we could find, I was trying to find anything to cover with, all I could find was some drywall in little pieces. So I squished the kids together as close as I could, put everybody's head together, and we all just covered our heads up with some drywall and pretty much got beat half to death with baseball-sized hail. That lasted probably 2 or 3 minutes. It seemed like half an hour. Not knowing if that tornado had dropped or not, and if it was coming, or no idea. Things that run through your mind. Just standing there with absolutely no protection at all. So finally that passed, and we got up and somehow made it into my neighbor's house. I don't know how we got there, but we did. We went in and just kind of crashed on his floor. And was sitting in my neighbor's house. We finally got there and sat on a stool. And the guys that got my wife stopped and told me, he said, picked her up, they're going to take her. And they went ahead and took off because they only had just a regular cab truck. They couldn't do nothing else. And another guy was going down the street helping. So he stopped to see where my neighbor Bill had come home, and he grabbed this guy to see if he could help me. And I was in pretty bad shape. And he said the road was blocked out one way with power lines and trees. And going out the other way, he didn't know yet. His house was down there. His wife and kids were home. He hadn't been there to see them yet. Yet he was stopping and helping other people on the way. And he just asked, could he run home and check on his family? And asked me to call 911 myself because nobody's phone would work. Every once in a while, you could stick a call through. You know, and you could get a text. It didn't always go through, but every once in a while, if you write one, pretty soon it'll go through. So I just texted her and was hoping, and praying it would go through. I tried to call 911 4 or 5 times. Once I got the lady to say hello, and that was it. And that's about all she wrote. The different texts coming up and through there. Travis and Phil tried to come up and help, and they would. The guys had told them there was only a man and his sons because they didn't know about Trish. They thought she was still stuck in the field, and then some of them thought that you couldn't communicate. Everybody was just doing the best they could with what they had. And I'd say people did an awesome job. It just mass confusion from there. They got my wife out. They stopped to tell me, but you know, every different group that came up there working didn't know. So some of them, they went ahead and took her fast as they could because they knew she was bad. So the new ones coming up went to look for a woman, but the woman was gone. When they found me, then they were going to look for kids. It's just a big mess. Cell phones didn't work. It was a mess, but everybody up there worked together. Everybody did an awesome job. Got us all taken to a safe place and loaded up. And they finally got us down to the 4-way, and they were just pretty much, by the time you get to the 4-way, they had, I don't know, endless line of ambulances from every different direction, and they were trying to assess and see who needed it the worst and get them out of there. They had, of course, the kids are so small, you know, and my chest was, I couldn't breathe. I was in bad shape, so we took a priority, and they took the kids, of course, to Cosair. So I had no idea where my wife went. My kids were going to Cosair, and they threw me in an ambulance to take me. I went to Clark. So, you know, Colin, who hadn't had a scratch on him, just stayed at Grandma's house. She didn't have a scratch on her. So they stayed there. I had one kid, or 2 kids going to Cosair. I had my wife going to I don't know where. and no cell service. So it's still amazingly it went as smooth as it did. And you know, I'll never stop knowing how much we were blessed, how much worse it could have been. We had a man just right across the street from that same tornado got him and killed him. You know, tore up a lot of stuff, hurt a lot of people. We could have very easily got a lot worse. So, just praise the Lord. Could have been so much worse.